Alagossa starts her search at the desk. She shakes the computer's mouse and the monitor lights up. Unsure of what to look for, she leaves the computer for now. Perusing through the drawers doesn't yield anything helpful either. She looks back at Hector, and then to the right side door behind the desk. She pushes the drawer closed and walks to the door. As expected, it automatically slides open when getting close. What she sees in front of her causes her to stop moving forward. The room through the door is entirely blacked out. The reception area's light illuminates some of the floor ahead, but not much. She squints into the dark and sighs, unable to see anything. Just as Alagossa is about to turn around, she feels as though a weight has been lifted from her, like something returning. Slowly, she begins to gain greater visual clarity of the darkened room, until she can see almost perfectly through the darkness, albeit tinged in red. A small smile curls onto her face and she steps inside, taking in the surroundings. It appears to be a large hub room with 3 hallways splitting off into cardinal directions. She looks up and the building goes up an additional 4 floors with catwalks cutting across the upper floors. There are tens, if not over 100 doors lined along the walls, and on the floor she is on, there is a building directory map at the center of the room, showing all of the building's floors. Relieved, she thinks,
"Oh, thank goodness. This place looks huge."
Looking over the map, she sees that this building has 5 floors, including the ground floor, and several basements that go down another 3 floors. The directory is titled Exclusion Site 9 at the top, with parts of the map labeled with names like Lab A3, Office Wing C, Containment Wing, and Anomalous Storage Unit 1.
Where do I start?
After scanning the map for a minute, she raises her eyebrow, taps her finger on a part of the map labeled Cafeteria, and looks around to get her bearings. She heads halfway down the west hall and pushes open a double door to the cafeteria.
Please let there be something edible in here.
Looking behind the serving counter, she finds a case of bottled water. Normal, clear water. She huffs out a single laugh and grabs the case. It's hard to lift, but she squats down, gives it her all, and hauls it back to the reception room, puffing the whole way. As she re-enters the room, her audible huffing from the strain of lifting causes Hector to turn his head in her direction. "Everything okay over there?" She lifts the water over the table.
Yeah.
And unintentionally slams it down with a thud beside Hector. He jumps a bit, startled by it.
Phew. Yeah. I'm fine. I found water.
Leaning on the water case, she continues.
Not the black stuff either. It's actual water.
She tears open the plastic covering and grabs Hector's hand, placing it on the water case.
Drink as much as you like. You need it.
Thanks.
Well, guess I'm going back out.
Hey, before you go, where are we? I forgot to ask. Alagossa takes a drink from a water bottle. Wiping her mouth with her sleeve, she answers,
It looks like some kind of office building. According to a directory I found, it says it's called Exclusion Site 9. No idea what that means.
Alagossa, are there any insignias in this building? Taking another drink, her eyebrows raise and she nods while looking at the 2 doors that lead to the same hub room.
Yeah, there are these 3 red arrows pointing up. It's on the doors right here and on some of the walls.
Hector nods slowly. I think you might have found a way out.
What? Really?
Alagossa sets the bottle down with a smile. Possibly. This is one of my employer's buildings. Not sure what it's doing here, but try to find a manager's office on that directory. Exclusion sites sometimes have teleporters in them, but they're hidden. It won't show up on a map, but a manager or director would have that kind of information.
You have teleporters?
Yep, and if one is here, that's our way out.
Okay. Find a manager's room and look for a possible secret teleporter. Anything else I should know?
No, that's about... Wait. The directory. Was there a place listed as containment or something similar?
Yeah, one of the basements is called Containment Wing.
Okay. Alagossa, I don't say this next part to scare you. There is a small chance that something dangerous is in the building. I want you to move silently and stay low, okay? Alagossa feels her legs start to go and balances herself on the desk with her hands.
What?
I know, but just stay calm and make yourself small and quiet. It is only a small chance. Exclusion sites don't usually store anomalies, but some are outfitted for temporary containment should the need arise. But even then, it would only have been stored for a month at most. Just be careful.
Okay.
You've been doing great this whole time, you know. You can do this.
Thank you. And thanks for the warning.
Of course. As Alagossa turns to leave, Hector calls to her. You sure you don't want me to come? The stuff you gave me earlier is kicked in and I'm feeling fine.
No, that means you need to take this time to rest. And like you said, I can do this.
All right. She enters the darkened hub room again, and her night vision seamlessly blends back in to allow her to see. Looking at the directory again, she thinks,
Manager's office. Top floor? Oh.
To her left, across the room, is a set of stairs that zigzag straight up to the higher floors. She gives her shoulders a few shakes, kicks both her legs out, jogs in place for a moment, slaps her face gently with both hands, and whispers aloud,
Okay. Let's do this.
Halfway through the climb to the 5th floor, Alagossa looks over the edge at the ground floor below. She's not sure what she's scanning the ground for, but continues to do so for a moment. Then continues up. At the 5th and top floor, she walks across a catwalk and towards a windowed office at the back of a large space full of cubicles. The lights are on in this area. Passing by one of the cubicles, she sees a sleeping bag, canned food, and water bottles laid out. She pauses to look at this and carefully calls out,
Hello? Hello? Anyone here?
No answer. In the cubicle, there is a computer with a blackened screen, but the power from the computer tower is still on. She steps in, shakes the mouse, and the screen comes on showing a writing app. Sitting down in the chair in front of the computer, she scrolls to the top of the document. There's a few journals. The first one reads, November 20th, 20XX. Funny. We never really accounted for what would happen if multiple big anomalies became active at the same time. Seems so obvious now. Whatever happened seems to have sent the facility to some foreign place. The area around the building is intact, but the farther from the facility you go, the more it fades to black. I don't think we should be walking into that darkness. Tried shining a flashlight into it. It just stops at a point, like a wall. There's more beyond it. You can path into it, surely, but no, we're not doing that. I told them not to go beyond the fence. Only myself, Carlos, and Annette seem to be present here. Between the three of us, provisions should last a couple years. We'll rest today. We can start thinking of a way out of this tomorrow. Alexei. Alagossa stands up from her chair and looks over the top of the cubicle walls, panning to view the area all around her.
There's other people here.
After a minute of searching, she sits back down and keeps reading. 21st of November. Same year. Carlos and Annette are gone. It's just me now. We had just discovered that this facility had a teleporter. Carlos cracked the password to the director's computer and found it. After that, we heard a knock at the door. Annette and I only looked away for a moment. We looked back and Carlos was gone. No puff of smoke, no sound, just... He wasn't there anymore. He had found that the teleporter was in the basement on the 3rd sublevel.
We went down and entered the teleporter room, but it had insufficient power. We heard knocking again, a ways off, and Annette decided to go screw it and use it anyway. I tried to stop her. I know this model. Even with low power, it will still try to get you out, but without the required power, only some of her got sent. These facilities always have backup generators or battery rooms, but when I found it, something was in front of the room. I thought it was dead, but it lashed out when I got close. I don't know what to do now. I'm leaving the generator room to whatever that thing is until I can find a way past it. Alexei.
Alagossa swallows nervously, now aware that something else is definitely in the building with them. She works quickly and begins opening drawers until she finds a notepad and pen. She tears a piece of paper from the book and writes down on it, "Teleporter room, 3rd sublevel." She continues to the next journal entry, looking for more details. 23rd of November, 20XX. Still trying to figure out some way to get by that thing in front of the generator room. It changed color yesterday. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. I miss them both. It's so quiet here. Alexei.
Okay, 3rd sublevel. But I need more. This isn't enough.
Alagossa gets up from her chair and puts the pen and note into her pocket. She pauses before leaving the cubicle, noticing a blue blanket near the sleeping bag. She folds it up, tucks it under her arm carefully, and brings it with her. She proceeds to her original destination, the windowed office at the back. Getting closer, she can see that the door is halfway open and the glass wall has a crack near it, as though the door was quickly flung open and the doorknob slammed into the glass wall. Eyeing the crack as she enters the office, there is a computer and a name plaque on an ornate desk with Director Crow written on it. She sits at the desk, setting the blanket down, and sees another writing app opened on it. This one, however, only has one journal entry. 23rd of November, 20XX.
Wait a minute.
Alagossa looks at the computer's taskbar for the date. Today is November 23rd. She exhales deeply, and her eyes focus on the date. She double-checks, triple-checks. Today is the 23rd. She keeps reading. Power just went out on the lower floors. I need to get to the generator room, but I don't want to do it with the lights out. Yet the longer I wait, the worse this is going to get. There's knocking again at the door as I write this. I can feel it outside the door. Maybe it'll leave again if I don't answer it. Going to try waiting. Been sat here for 2 hours. It's just standing there. I think I saw part of it sway from in front of the window. No food or water in this room. I'll starve if I sit here, so guess I'm running for it. Shove open the door and make a break for the sublevels. At least that way I have a chance. Alexei. P.S. In case anyone else ends up in this place, the password to the teleporter room is 1784. It's behind a false wall in the janitor's closet on the 3rd sublevel. I don't think we need to keep secrets in this situation. Alagossa feels her heart begin to pound faster, and she quickly snaps her head to look up at the open door.
This can't have been written more than 6 hours ago.
She shakes her head, snapping herself out of it, and grabs the paper and pen she took, writing down another note below the first.
In janitor's closet. Password 1784. Also, turn generators on. Okay. Relax. Breathe. I have what we came for. That's progress. Now, just gotta grab Hector, get to the teleporter room, turn on the generators, and get out. Come on. Come on.
Stuffing the note and pen back into her pocket and grabbing the blanket, Alagossa quickly gets up from the chair and heads out of the office and through the cubicles. As she approaches the stairs, a distinct knocking sound echoes throughout the facility. She stops in her tracks, then gets on her hands and knees, crawls to the edge of the catwalk, and looks down. Several more knocks echo out. Her eyes scan the lower floors, but there's nothing in view.
No, go away!
The sound of an automatic door sliding open echoes from the lower floors again. She can't pinpoint where exactly. To stay quiet, Alagossa crawls to the stairs. Then once she reaches them, sits down on the first step and begins to crawl down on her hands and feet, one step at a time. Progress is slow, but nearly soundless. Passing by the third floor, she hears an automatic door sliding open again and quickly looks up. The sound came from the floor above her. She places a hand on her mouth and slowly flattens against the stairs. Alagossa continues shifting herself down from one step to the next. Passing the second floor, she hears footsteps above her on the fourth floor. Nearing the ground level, the footsteps from the upper floors stop, and the distant sound of another automatic door sliding open can be heard, followed by them closing.
Good. You stay up there.
Reaching the ground floor, she stands up and takes a glance at the upper floors again. Coast is clear. Alagossa enters the reception room and calls to Hector.
Hey, it's me.
He turns in his spinning office chair. Hey, you. Find anything good? She sighs with relief and walks to Hector.
Yeah, I found a few journals left by someone who works here. It's like you said, this place has a teleporter. It's on the...
Alagossa pulls out the piece of paper from her pocket.
third sublevel, behind a false wall in a janitor's closet.
Perfect. Anything else?
Yes, we've got a problem. But first, this is for you.
She throws the blanket around his shoulders and starts to tie a knot to keep it on him. Thank you. That feels nice.
Good. Now, about the other...
Alagossa?
Wait.
She takes a moment to listen. The facility is silent.
Okay. Sorry, just thought I heard something. There's something else in the building. I didn't see it, but I heard it. The journals I found talked about something that knocks. I think that's it. It's busy on the upper floors, though, so we need to go now before it decides to wander back into the halls.
Agreed. Let's go. Hector stands up and she takes his hand. The two exit the room and Alagossa turns right and beelines for a row of elevators in the main hub area. She presses the down button, and then presses it several more times impatiently.
What? The light's not even coming on. Do sliding doors take priority over working elevators?
Quietly now. There should be some stairs nearby.
Yes, of course. Sorry.
She flicks her head around and walks in a circle for a bit, before spotting a pull door beside the elevators with an infographic of a stairwell on it.
There.
She grabs the door's handle and pulls it open, revealing concrete walls and metal stairs. Alagossa steps onto the landing and looks down. The way is cut off by a massive blockage of reddish flesh with translucent yellow sacks hanging off it. After staring at it for a moment, Alagossa gently nudges Hector back into the hub area, moving as though not to wake something sleeping.
Not this way.
What did you see? She closes the door behind them.
Remember the flesh mask thing back at the hotel? There's another in the stairwell.
Alagossa slowly turns her neck to watch the upper floors, and is clenching and unclenching her fist nervously. Still clear. You said there's a directory, right? This place has to have redundancies. Check for more stairs going down. She nods.
Yeah, that's right.
And pulls Hector along to the map. Her eyes quickly look over the directory, searching for another staircase. She occasionally takes a quick look up to make sure the coast is still clear, Both her hands are now clenching and unclenching, and her breathing is becoming slightly ragged. He squeezes her hand and says,
"It's all right. Just focus on what you're doing."
Okay.
Her grip relaxes, and she takes a deep breath while looking at the map.
That's the east. Yeah, over here.
The two walk down the east hall silently. After reaching the far end of the hall, Alagossa sees another door with a stair infographic on it. She pushes open this door and stops before stepping onto the landing, which appears to be sagging and not structurally stable. Craning her neck into the room slightly, she sees the stairwell has been collapsed. The drop goes down 2 floors. This time, she more urgently nudges Hector back into the hall.
Come on.
More blockages?
No, the stairwell is collapsed.
Let's try the directory again. Maybe there's another way.
Alagossa walks quickly back towards the directory at the center hub. She spends the next several minutes poring over the map, but there is no other stairwell down. She runs her fingers through her hair and hunches over slightly.
Oh.
She tilts her head up to the upper floors again to check for anything that may be watching.
No. No. No.
Hey, come on now. It's all right.
No, it's not all right. Those are the last stairs down.
Just wait. Alagossa, you did find a manager's room, right?
Yeah, a director's room, actually.
Better. That could have another way down to the sublevels. If you can get us back to the director's room, I can help you search for a building plan. Some of our sites have defensive hidden tunnels to help repel attacks. If this site has one, we can use it to get down.
But that thing is still up there, though.
Stairs and elevators are no good. This is the only other plan I can think of. We have to try.
Do you have a gun at least?
Wouldn't you know? I was on my way to the shooting range when I got sent to this place.
Oh. All right, let's do this.
The trek up to the 5th floor is quiet and not as difficult as before, Hector having gotten used to climbing without vision. At the top, the two pass through the cubicle office space and into Director Crow's office.
Okay, we're here.
Good. There is presumably a computer in here?
Yeah.
Halfway through sitting in the director's chair, Alagossa stops and looks at Hector, who she left standing beside the desk.
Here, you take the chair,
she says while pulling the chair toward Hector and sitting him down in it. She then hunches over the computer, hovers her hands over the keyboard, and looks at Hector, not knowing what to do.
Where do I start?
Go to the This PC tab. Let's just search through every file. Alagossa stretches her fingers.
Got it.
Okay, look up stuff like schematics or building plan or Site 9. She begins searching for those keywords. The computer takes a moment to load, and after a few minutes of digging through files, some results catch her eye when she types in Site 9. Clicking on a file called eSite09MDL opens a 3D modeling program that displays a building. Alagossa clicks around, rotating the camera view of the structure and zooming in and out.
Hey, I found some kind of 3D model. I think this is the building we're in.
What's the model file name?
eSite09MDL.
Yep, that'll be it.
Looking along the bottom of the model, she spots a thin line going from one of the sublevels to somewhere away from the facility.
There's a line going from the basement to somewhere beyond a fence.
That's our way down. Can you pinpoint where it is?
It's in front of the south side of the building. But wait, we just came in from the south side. It's just going to take us back to that old stairwell again.
Check for another entrance. We can exit through a different door and walk around.
Here we go. The North Hall has a back entrance.
Hector nods, and Alagossa pulls out a piece of paper with directions to the teleporter room and writes down more notes as she talks.
Exit through north entrance. Hidden passage 150 degrees from south entrance. Past fence. Okay, I think we're good.
She pockets the pen and paper, stands up, helps Hector out of his chair, and the two leave the room. Passing through the cubicles, she remains vigilant and continues to keep an eye out. The two round the stairs corner and descend past the 4th floor. Starting on the stairs to the 3rd, Alagossa hears the sound of an automatic door sliding open nearby. Her back freezes up. She turns her head to the sound, eyes wide, and sees a 2-meter-tall, dark, humanoid figure standing in the doorway, facing them. Instead of a face, it only has one large mouth. It grunts and begins walking in their direction. Get us to the next landing, now. Alagossa, eyes still frantic, does as Hector says, and the two quickly rush down the stairs. Halfway down, the creature rounds the corner and stomps down the steps, gaining speed. Once they reach the landing to the 3rd floor, Hector quickly shoves her away and closer to the next set of stairs down. Stay down! Alagossa curls up on the floor, covering her head with her hands. She looks up at the creature, now barreling down the stairs. Hector takes a step back up towards it, arms raised, his one hand facing it with an open palm. Before she can say anything, the monster is crashing into him. He falls backwards, or rather rolls backwards, grabbing the creature by the shoulder and pulling it into him. The blanket wrapped around him comes undone and gets left behind on the stairs. After rolling onto his back and down the steps, he kicks both his legs as hard as he can into the monster's abdomen and forces it over the safety railing. The creature falls, howling and flailing out with its arms, trying to grab onto something. Hector's chest slams into the safety railing, his legs ragdoll over the edge. The creature's swinging arms aren't able to connect to anything, and it falls down 3 floors. Hector quickly hooks his legs onto the railing and starts pulling his lower half up. Alagossa grabs his arm and pulls as hard as she can to get him back onto the landing. There is a loud, wet crunch from the ground level, and Hector crawls over the railing and flops onto his back on the landing.
Check. Is he dead?
Alagossa scrambles to her feet, grabs the rail with both her hands, and looks over the edge. The creature is splayed out on the ground below, a large pool of blood around its head. Alagossa grins wide.
Yes, you got him.
Hector grabs the railing, still lying on his back.
Thank God.
She clenches both her hands and presses them together.
That was great.
He raises an open palm and slowly lowers it towards the ground.
Okay, I think we should go back to whispering now. We don't know if something else is in here.
Of course. Sorry.
It's fine. Got a bit excited myself.
The smile that was on her face begins to wane as she takes a closer look at Hector. Looks at the eye visor of his mask, his missing left hand. His breathing is raspy and he took a bad fall to defeat the creature. She lowers herself to one knee beside him.
Hey, can you stand?
Yeah, I just need a sec.
Hector slowly pulls himself up, and Alagossa puts a hand on his back, helping him to sit upright. He's sat, leaned against the guard railing, and reaches around to rub his back. Alagossa stands up, retrieves the blanket off the stairs, throws it over his shoulders, and takes a knee beside him to tie it again. She walks around and positions herself under his right arm.
Just let me know when you're ready to try and stand up.
He raises his arm up off her.
It's not that bad. I don't need a crutch.
With a soft huff, she replies,
Hector, you fell really hard throwing that thing. Let me help.
I've had worse falls than this. Your hand is enough.
It's not. Please.
Hector slowly nods his head down and lowers his arm back over Alagossa's shoulder.
All right.
He pulls his legs in and starts to stand. Alagossa pushes up, helping lift his weight, and they both stand up together. Moving like this is slower and he's heavier than expected, but she doesn't mind. The two head down to the ground floor. Walking by the creature's body, she keeps an eye on it, continuing to watch it by looking over her shoulder until they're several meters away from it. She's passed through this hub area so many times, she knows which way the North Hall is, and walks down it to the back entrance. The building feels quieter than before. During the silent walk, she notices Hector's head nodding down from time to time, like he's dozing off. She winces with concern at seeing this, but doesn't bring it up. Reaching the exit, Alagossa presses her forearm onto one of the double doors and pushes it open. Outside, there's a stillness to the air. It's a large parking lot surrounding the building, and around the parking lot is a perimeter fence and a dark forest beyond that, which fades into complete blackness the deeper it goes. Letting the door close behind the two of them, she looks up and sees no stars, just more blackness. She also notices that her night vision has faded out, the area around the facility being already lit with a dim evening light. Dark but visible with no clear light source. Although this unsettles her, Alagossa dismisses the lighting anomaly, as it doesn't present an immediate danger. The two start their trek around the building towards the front entrance of the south side. Both of their footsteps echo lightly out here. She uses her free hand to look over her note and remind herself where the hidden entrance is. So, this place has an outside. Putting the note back into her pocket, she answers,
Yeah, a parking lot with a big fence and a forest around that. I'm bringing us around to the south side now. That's where the hidden tunnel should be.
They pass around the north face of the building and keep going until they reach the corner leading to the south side. Alagossa turns her neck to the left, looking at the front entrance.
Okay, 150 degrees from the south entrance.
Using her arm as a pointer, she aims it roughly in the direction they want to go, and starts towards a small gatehouse with two barrier gates, the only break in the perimeter fence. Around halfway through the parking lot, Alagossa feels Hector get heavier. She bends her knees trying to keep him up.
Hector?
She hadn't noticed until now, but Hector had begun to slump over. But upon hearing her voice, he snaps up and the extra weight on her shoulders vanishes.
Sorry.
Still walking to the gatehouse, she says,
Hey, we're almost to the tunnel. Just hang on, okay?
Hector lifts his forearm and holds a thumbs up within her view, then returns it to resting on her shoulder.
Yeah, there you go.
After reaching the gatehouse, they both crouch down under the barrier gates and continue to the left along the fence. She carefully scans the forest but can't see anything immediately threatening. Just empty forest that fades to black. A few minutes of walking later, she looks through the fence, back at the facility, and uses her arm as a pointer again.
Okay, around here. And then we go about 10 meters deeper in. Almost there.
Angling herself to line up with the directions, she walks into the forest. The ground is littered with dead leaves from the bare trees around them that crunch under their feet. The more they progress into the forest, the darker their surroundings become, and the more Alagossa slows down. With her night vision, the darkness is less of a problem. What's slowing her down is the density of the trees, obscuring her vision. While walking to the area the secret tunnel should be in, intrusive thoughts of predators lurking behind trees constantly pop into her mind. She scans their surroundings, looking for movement among the trees, but doesn't see anything.
Okay, it should be close by. You get some rest while I look for this thing.
She seats Hector against a tree, facing the building.
Got any ideas on where to start looking? It's definitely well hidden.
Search in places that aren't in line of sight of the facility or road leading to it. These tunnels are used as flanks to hit incoming attackers, so I'd assume the men would want a covered position to pop out from. Not much, but narrows the area of places it could be.
That's plenty. Thank you.
He nods and raises a thumbs up.
Yeah. Just sit tight.
Alagossa crouches down and starts brushing leaves off anywhere hidden from the facility's view. After about 20 minutes of searching and constantly keeping a lookout for anything that may come from the woods, she huffs with impatience and kicks some leaves, which still reveals nothing. She breathes into her hands and rubs them together. They're cold, worn, and dry from rummaging through forest debris. For a moment, she considers complaining about it to Hector, just to have someone to listen to her griefs. She decides against it.
No. He's got enough to worry about without me whining.
She breathes into her hands once more to warm them, and walks over to another tree. Walking around it, Alagossa hears a muffled clunking sound from under a dense pile of leaves. Her face lights up and she drops to her knees, brushing leaves away. Some of the debris seems to stick to the ground though, and her fingers grip onto something metal through the foliage. She tugs on it, but it doesn't budge. After jiggling what is presumably a handle, something clicks and the handle comes up slightly, but stops again. Her head shoots up, eyes wide and checking her surroundings before refocusing on the door. After fidgeting with it a bit more, there's another clicking sound and the door opens upward, revealing a staircase going down about 5 meters. Alagossa quickly stands up, rubbing her clenched fists together with excitement, and runs over to Hector.
Hey, I found it.
His head is nodded down and he doesn't answer.
Hector?
She grabs his shoulder and gives him a shake.
Hey.
She gets on one knee beside him and keeps shaking him.
Hector, come on, we gotta go.
He takes a deep breath, and Alagossa sighs with relief, lowering her head.
Hey, it's time to wake up.
He shifts in place and slowly raises his head. Oh. Looks like I nodded off.
Had me worried there for a sec. Come on, I found the tunnel entrance.
Good work. Let's get out of here. Hector pulls his legs in and starts to push himself up. He's rising noticeably slow and shivers a few times. She squats down and gets under his right arm, helping him up.
Easy now, I gotcha.
He feels even heavier than before, less able to carry himself. While helping him get up, Alagossa feels a familiar sensation of something returning to her. Her body starts to feel lighter and Hector easier to carry. She looks down at her open palm and clenches it, feeling power behind it. Reaching for the tree that he was leaned against, she places her hand on it and gives it a firm grip. The wood crunches under her fingers and her face lights up. Hector snaps his head towards the sound. What was that? She releases her hold, leaving a distinct handprint crushed onto the tree.
It's...
You don't sound concerned, so I'm assuming there's no immediate threat?
Yeah, we're fine.
The two begin walking to the hidden tunnel and Hector asks, So, what was that noise?
A rock fell.
I'm going to guess you have enhanced strength and that crunching was you striking a tree.
How did it... Well, I was grabbing it, but yeah. How?
Nobody else is here, so narrows the list of who done it to just you. Also, a rocky hill right next to us, in the middle of a forest, if I recall you describing, where a rock slides off a hill, strikes a tree, and makes no further sound as it lands on the ground.
Oh. Yeah, that story's got some holes in it.
How long have you had the strength for?
Not long, I promise. I only regained some of my powers just now. If I'd had this earlier, I would have helped more.
It's all right, I believe you. I don't think you were holding out. The two come to the open tunnel door.
Careful, we got stairs here.
They slowly descend and continue. Wait, you said some of your powers. Can you do more?
Yeah. When we first came into your employer's place, I got my ability to see in the dark back.
I see. Think you can handle it if we find some other monster down here?
Maybe. I'm still very diminished, and I have no way of gauging the strength of anything here.
Then we'll keep playing it stealthy. Near the bottom of the stairs, Alagossa's night vision begins to fade in. In front of them is a long, concrete tunnel with pipes and unpowered fluorescent lights snaking along the ceiling. At the end of the tunnel is a half-open door. Stepping off the stairs and proceeding down the hall, she asks,
So, you're taking this new information pretty well. You're not mad?
No. Why would I be?
I mean, presumably you fight monsters, and now you know I'm kinda one.
He shakes his head. Monsters don't help cripples.
How do you know it wasn't just an act? Pretending to get you to take care of me.
I don't think sincerity like yours can be faked. Something would have slipped. A smile widens onto Alagossa's face.
Thank you.
Okay, no sappy stuff. We're not out of this yet.
Yeah. We'll be re-entering the building soon. We should probably lower our voices again.
Understood. At the end of the hall, she peeks through the half-open door. To her left and right are metal hallways. Instead of pushing the door open, she opts to turn sideways and step inside carefully.
Go sideways here.
Back inside the facility, she looks down both hallways. To her right, about 10 meters away, is a ceiling sign with an infographic of a staircase. She makes her way to it. When they reach it, Alagossa stands in front of the door for a moment, waiting for it to open.
Oh, this is a normal door. Yeah, there's hinges right on the side here.
She pulls the handle to the stairwell, but it doesn't budge. Alagossa opens and closes her free hand, feeling the degree of strength that has returned to her. Then walks Hector to a wall next to the door.
Hey, wait here for a sec.
He nods a single time. After taking care to make sure Hector is safely leaned against the wall, she turns her attention back to the door, placing both hands on the handle and firmly gripping it. She licks her lips and slowly opens her mouth.
Hector, I think I can break this open, but it might make noise.
Just try your best to only break the lock and not touch anything else.
Okay.
Alagossa takes a deep breath, tenses her muscles, and yanks the handle hard. A metallic snap, followed by a few clinking sounds, echoes through the halls. She bares her clenched teeth and freezes, the handle successfully being dislodged from the door and hanging loosely. Hector is also turned to face the door and is still. They both wait there for a moment, listening. And the door slowly opens, Alagossa pulling on the broken handle.
I don't hear anything. Let's go.
Getting back under Hector's right arm, she helps him to the now open stairwell door. The stairs are intact, and the two walk down the spiraling steps until they reach the third and bottom sublevel. Her shoulders tense in anticipation as they both approach the door on the bottom floor. She grabs the handle, and the door opens without any trouble. She leans forward and pokes her head through the entrance, looking down the left and right hall. Coming through the door, once confirming the coast is clear, there is another directory on the wall in front of them. A list of room names with arrows beside them. Her eyes quickly spot generator room pointing to the left, and she follows it.
Almost there. The teleporter room should be behind a janitor's closet on this floor. I'll set you down once we find it, then I'll go for the generators.
As they proceed down the hall, she begins opening every door they pass along the walls, checking inside. Generator room?
Wait, did I not tell you?
I guess not. What am I missing?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, power's out to most of this place. And those journals I found earlier mentioned something about the teleporter needing power or something bad would happen.
Well, I've got no complaints about the current plan. On we go.
Alagossa spends the next 20 minutes opening every door she passes, until one of them opens to a closet with a bucket, mops, and various other cleaning supplies. She lets out a long sigh.
Hector, we're here.
Good work. Nicely done.
She places her hands on the wall, looking for something to press or a lever to pull.
Know anything about hidden doors?
Try feeling around the edges.
He says, letting go of Alagossa and leaning against one of the walls. She gets on her knees, feeling the bottom of the wall in the back of the closet. At the bottom left corner, there is a small part of the wall that can be pressed in, like a button. She fits more fingers into the indent and fiddles around with it. The wall feels as though it can be moved, and pulling it to the side makes it slide open to reveal a short, white, hidden passage with a single door at the end, and a keypad beside it.
Oh my goodness, that was it. You got us in.
You were the one that found it, but thank you.
Oh, hush.
She pulls out the note with her free hand and punches in the password. The keypad flashes green for a second and the door slides open. The first thing Alagossa notices is the smell. A slightly metallic, foul odor that peels the smile off her face. Stepping inside, the room is large, white, circular, and well lit, with a small raised platform at the center with a tall console in front of it. Off to the side is a more normal-looking desktop computer, and beside the raised platform is someone's lower half, legs close together, as though the person was suddenly bisected and the legs had fallen back off the platform. There is a sizable pool of blood around the opening on top of the waist. Alagossa covers her mouth and averts her eyes.
Even through this mask I can smell that. How many? What's the damage?
Only one. Cut in half. It's just the legs. I don't know where the upper half is. I think this is what that one journal was warning about. What happens if the teleporter doesn't have enough power?
Let's not waste time then. There should be a computer near a taller terminal. Get me to it. I'll show you how to select a destination for the teleporter.
Yeah, it's right over here.
Bringing him to the computer, she eases him into the office chair and takes a knee in front of the keyboard.
Okay. How do I do this?
Hector spends the next 5 minutes walking Alagossa through the steps of teleporter operation. It's simple and consists mainly of selecting other teleporters to exit from. Is Site 21 available?
No, not seeing a Site 21. Weird. After Site 20, it says Site 23.
Hector massages his neck with his hand. How about Site 32?
Yeah, 32 is here.
That's the next best. Click that one.
Uh-huh. Okay, confirm destination. I hit yes again, right?
Yep.
Now it says teleporter calibrated and ready. We're good?
Yeah, that's it. Now, if you could check the terminal in front of the teleporter pad, it should be this tall white thing with a big red button on it. Alagossa gets up from her chair, steps onto the teleporter pad, and looks at the tall console. There's a screen at eye level with a small keypad below it, and a large hand-sized red button under that.
Found it. A big red button.
Alright, don't push it. That initiates the teleport. What's it say on the screen?
Says insufficient power, and there's a picture of a red battery with a low bar.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna need the generators to power this thing.
Okay, I'll head out now. You wait here.
Hector pats his one hand onto his chest.
Be careful out there. I'm sorry I can't do more for you.
It's okay. You just rest for a bit while I handle it.
Alagossa hesitates at the door for a moment, looking back at Hector, and walks out. Outside the teleporter room, she types in the password again and the door closes. She scolds herself for feeling the urge to ask Hector to come along for comfort.
Come on. Almost there. You can handle it from here. He's done more than enough.
She cracks the door open and looks down both halls before stepping silently out of the janitor's closet.
Okay, walked in the generator's general direction to find this place. Should be somewhat close by.
She finds a nearby directory with directional arrows beside the room names, finds the word generators, turns to her right and keeps walking. After a moment, remembering that some of her strength has returned, decides to use that power to pick up the pace. However, after only 2 steps of running, she immediately stops as her shoes clamp loudly on the metal floor. Walking was fine, but any faster is no good. She pauses, then turns around and walks back into the closet, pulls her shoes and socks off and sets them neatly to one corner. Looking down at her shoes, she thinks,
This looks like what some people do before they kill themselves. Oh gosh, no, bad thoughts.
She shakes her head and steps back out into the hall, where she does some Cossack squats and arm rolls. After stretching her joints, she slowly leans down until she's on all fours, and begins to skitter along the ground in an animal-like manner. Without the sound of shoes on metal and distributing her weight along 4 limbs, she's able to move silently at about 30 kilometers per hour. The signs guide her down a hall until she reaches a 3-path intersection with a wall in front of her. Approaching the intersection, a familiar scent hits her nose. The same stench of blood from the teleporter room, but with less of a rotting smell. She slows down to a stop, still on all fours. There's a sign on the intersection's wall that says the generator room is to the left. She peeks around the corner. To the left is a dead-end hall that stretches to a single room with a plaque reading "Generator Room" next to it. Alagossa's eyes widen reflexively at something else down the hall. In between her and her destination is a large reddish flesh mass that blocks the left half of the hallway and is grown into the wall. There appears to be a large fissure around the middle of the flesh mass, facing outward. A hanging dark yellow translucent material lines the edges of this open fissure, and some kind of yellowish substance has leaked out from the opening and pooled around the mass, making a large mess.
Did something come out of there?
She's about to look over her shoulder when her eyes drift down and spots something else. Lying before the mass is a body on its stomach with a large gash across its back. The blood pooled around it has a brighter color than the bisected legs from the teleporter room and looks wetter. The body's head is also missing. It looks as though this man was heading to the generator room as well before something cut him down. Alagossa looks over her shoulder and to the right hall. She doesn't hear or see anything, and looks back at the body.
Oh no.
After a deep breath, she cautiously stalks down the hall and past the corpse, stopping at the liquid pooled around the flesh mass. Alagossa winces at it and steps back a ways. Then runs at an angle towards the wall and wall runs just long enough to avoid the puddle, landing on the other side on all fours. After landing, she looks over her shoulder and continues to the door at the end of the hall. Turning the handle and pushing the door open, she enters a long, downwards ramped passage. Alagossa trots down the path and opens another door to a vast generator room. A 3-meter-high staircase leads down to a low floor and 6 large generators. She gets back up on 2 legs and walks down the steps, looking up at the unpowered light fixtures, wires, and pipes that run along the ceiling. Shifting her focus back to the ground, she looks around for some way to interface with the generators. She walks around one of them, unsure of what to look for. Some kind of on switch. There is an emergency stop button, but nothing that turns it on. She sighs and looks over her shoulder, back up the stairs and at the entrance to the generator room.
she can't help but imagine something always being just about to discover her presence. Shaking it off, Alagossa proceeds deeper into the generator room. At the back, there is a computer on a desk. She sits down in front of it and looks it over. It doesn't take long for her to spot the window with a "Reactivate Generators" message on it and a big green button below it. She shakes the mouse, clicks yes, and metallic clunking sounds come from the generators around her. They slowly begin to hum and lights start to come on above her. The sudden flashing of the lights coming on blinds her briefly, causing her to quickly close her eyes and cover them with both hands. Her night vision can't adjust fast enough. Yet she smiles through it, pleased with this development. It doesn't take long for her eyes to adjust and she begins to slowly open them. The humming continues to get louder and Alagossa's smile fades. If something is in the sublevels, then this noise piercing its dead silence will not go unnoticed. She was aware this was going to happen though, and so she gets on all fours again and this time runs with haste, since the generators have already blown her cover. She leaps up the first half of the stairs. Another leap puts her at the top, where she swiftly grabs the door's handle and pushes it only halfway open, taking a moment to look up at the ramped hall. Seeing that nothing is there, she continues up. After exiting back into the proper facility halls, she closes the door behind her to help muffle the generator sound, and keeps running back towards the teleporter room. She takes care to slow down at every corner and check to make sure it's clear before continuing. Halfway back to the janitor's closet, she hears the sound of several heavy footsteps coming from deeper in the building, heading towards the generators. Alagossa quickly slows to a stop and hunches over meekly, an instinctive reflex from the sound of stomping footsteps that are headed to where she just was.
Yes, I'm definitely over there. Go there and stay there, please.
Her legs find their strength again, and she continues on her way, rounding the last corner and approaching the janitor's closet. Just before grabbing the handle, she takes another look down both halls, and freezes when she looks to her right. 6 meters away from her, halfway around a corner, is a large, floating, pill-shaped creature with a black carapace. Its eyes are dark, but reflect some light from the now activated hallway bulbs. Its mouth doesn't appear to have joints. The whole body looks to be made from one solid bone with a hole positioned around where a mouth should be, relative to the eyes, with teeth on the top and bottom of the unclosing mouth. It's hanging around the corner, soundlessly, its half-concealed face staring at Alagossa. Everything around her seems quiet now. Her focus becomes entirely centered on this hovering anomaly. She has an idea, and summons every ounce of willpower in her body to fold her arms behind her back and remain still. Alagossa tilts her head and furrows her brow slightly, as if to gesture, "Really?" Her eyes glow a sharp, intense red, and she holds this position and eye glow, behaving as though the entity was a minor nuisance. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds. The creature soundlessly and slowly hovers behind the corner and out of sight. Keeping her composure, she nonchalantly opens the closet and steps inside, closing the door behind her. Her knees bend, shake, and she wheezes quietly. The act drops, and she fumbles picking up her shoes off the floor a few times, tears welling up in her eyes. She passes the false wall, closing it behind her. At the keypad door, it takes her several tries to enter the password correctly, hands still trembling. She's not sure how much time her bluff bought, and it knows they're here. The door slides open after backspacing and trying to re-enter the password for the 5th time.
Hector?
Already facing her direction in the chair, upon hearing her call, he slowly stands up. What's happened? She re-enters the password, closing the door, then sits down clumsily and puts her shoes and socks back on.
The generators are on, but there's several things out there, and one of them knows we're in here. I think I bought us some time, but I don't know how much.
Hector moves slowly towards the sound of Alagossa's voice. Good work. You're almost done. Just get us to the teleporter platform. She crawls onto her feet, gets under Hector's arm again, and hauls him to the raised pad at the middle of the room. He pulls away from her upon feeling the platform under his foot, leaning on the tall console in front of it. All right, what do you see on the screen?
It says power insufficient, but the battery looks like it's almost full. It's this yellow color. There's also a picture off to the side of this half circle with a small red bar at the bottom.
Gotta wait then. A full charge should get us a few teleports.
Wait, if a full charge gets us a few trips, why not just use it now?
The engineers say to never use it unless it's at 100%. I don't know how it works or why it's like this, but that's what the guys who made it say.
I suppose they know what we don't know.
Yes. Hector leans against the terminal and half buries his head into his arm. Just have to wait. Alagossa looks nervously at the door to the room, both her hands holding her stomach. With his head still leaned on his arm, he nods a few times and makes a thumbs up with his hand. Almost there.
Yeah, almost there.
Oh, before I forget. He pulls his recorder from his pocket and holds it out to Alagossa. You're going through first, so give this to whoever you see on the other side, okay? It'll let them know you're not a threat. She gently takes the recorder with both hands.
Hold on, you should go first. You're blind.
Hector gently places his hand on the red button. It's a fat button. Even a blind guy can find it.
Well, still.
The terminal in front of them emits a dinging sound, and Alagossa smiles weakly at the screen.
Hey, it's green. The battery.
Perfect. Hit the red button and you're out.
Wait, the half-circle thing. I almost forgot. What's that mean?
Don't worry, that's an abort sequence. Don't touch it. Now go on. I'd like to get out of here sooner rather than later, please. And don't worry, teleportations have a delay between arrivals. I'm right behind you. He gives her a firm thumbs up.
Okay. See you soon.
See ya. She presses her palm onto the red button. Dark. Everything suddenly became pitch black around her when she pressed the button. Her night vision doesn't reveal anything. There's nothing to see, yet she's still standing. On what, she's not sure, but she's upright. She slowly tilts her head to the right, and then left. Still can't see anything.
Is this how the teleporter is supposed to work?
After another short moment, she feels a change in the air and environment around her. Her night vision begins to kick in, and she's standing in what appears to be the same teleporter room. Except here, the lights are off, there is no pair of bisected legs, and no Hector. Alagossa steps off the platform and pans her head around the room.
Hello?
Spotting a door on the wall behind her, she walks to it. There is a single button on the right side of the door, and pushing it causes the door to slide open. She covers her eyes as sunlight pours in through the door, briefly blinding her.
Again.
Covering her eyes with both arms as they adjust, she calls out,
Hello? I'm not dangerous.
When her vision comes back after a few seconds, she looks around at a wide, white hallway with a few doors on either side. At the end of the hall is another door with two large windows looking out onto a grassy landscape with a road in front of it. She steps out into the hall, a surge of relief welling up in her at seeing natural sunlight and hearing birds chirping outside. Above her are special lamps designed to reflect natural light into the halls. She looks at one of the side doors that is ajar. Peeking inside reveals a small office space.
Hello? Hello?
The birds outside are chirping again.
She hesitates for a moment and keeps heading to the entrance door. Alagossa turns the knob and steps out of the building. A small parking lot is in front of her, grass fields ahead, a forest behind and to the left of the building. To the right is a city in the distance and a road running in front of the structure, stretching from deep in the forest to the city. A light breeze brushes her face. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath of the cool air. After a few moments of this, she looks down at the recorder in her right hand and looks behind her, back into the quiet building.
Is it their day off?
Looking down at the recorder curiously and raising it, Alagossa pushes the play button. This is Agent Hector. Call sign Kilo X-Ray Zulu 397. The girl holding the recorder is Alagossa. She is not hostile. Repeat, she is not hostile. Alagossa, this next part is for you. So, there are 3 ways this could go down. First, the generators are out of fuel and we are dead in the water. Second, the generators have enough power for us both. Third, the generators only have enough fuel left for one of us. If you're holding this recorder, we're at option 3. Alagossa slowly opens her mouth and says aloud,
You...
Sorry for not saying anything. Couldn't risk you not getting yourself out of here. You seemed that nice. Might botch your chance just to help me, so off you go. Oh, and to whoever else is hearing this, extraction would be good if you can swing it. Do hurry, though, if you can. I'm down 2 eyes and a hand. Alright. This is probably gonna be the last thing I record. I don't know if the recorder is picking that up, but I hear a distinct humming of generators somewhere far off. She did it. Hopefully it's enough for both of us. Anyway, please, send her home safe. If you can't, take care of her. She's not a monster. Lost my eye, lost my hand, almost broke my back, and she stayed with me and took care of me the whole time. So do right by her. Her face had become more and more downcast as she had listened. By the end of it, she's holding the recorder with both hands and water is pushing up from under her eyelids. Alagossa spends the next couple of hours searching the new building she's in. No one is here. When she tries to use the phones, no one picks up. She's looking for something, someone, or anything to help her bring Hector to where she is. But nothing is turning up. She huffs firmly out her nostrils in frustration. After spending the next 20 minutes looking for and taking people's car keys, she marches out of the building and into the small parking lot. Her intention being to find which car has the most fuel and drive into the distant city to look for help. Clicking the unlock button on one of the keys and seeing a sedan's lights flash, she pauses after opening its door. The wind blows gently, cooling her face, and she begins to register how quiet it is. Aside from the wind, birds, and crickets, there is nothing else here. No sound of distant traffic, people, or any man-made noises, let alone anyone in the building she's at. She looks up. The clouds roll by slowly in the sky. There is a flock of birds far off. She has escaped, but something feels off to her. A familiar feeling suddenly surfaces, the feeling of something returning, but in a much larger way. She no longer feels stunted, restricted. It all returns to her. Alagossa takes a deep breath, feeling overwhelming strength return to her body. She looks back at the structure she emerged from, with a look of anguish on her face, considering the thought that no one is coming through the teleporter after her. 3 additional red eyes sprout open on her forehead in a radial pattern.